Hello and welcome to this video and to my spring book haul, because if you saw the unhaul video I did a couple of months ago, which I'll link up here for you, you'll know that I planned on buying books. So I'd put myself on a bit of a book buying ban between January, the end of January, and Easter, because I have a lot and I was getting into it. There was a slight problem happening where I was just buying lots of books and I knew I wouldn't have time to read them. So I thought, give myself a few months where I'm not allowed to buy any books. That's no ebooks, no physical books, and then come April I can do some buying again, and now I'm back on said book buying ban until a time that I haven't decided yet. I thought I would actually go crazier than I did, but I do have quite a lot of books here. So I think we'll jump straight into it. I'll try and group some of them together as best as I can, but largely this is going to be a what I grab first kind of haul. So let's jump into it. So the first book actually came from the free bookshelf in my tube station. So what is one of those book exchange, so people put on books that they no longer want and then you can take them away for free if there's anything there. I do put books on myself before anyone comments that. I have put books there as well as take them away. So this time I got the Summers of Sisterhood, but the Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants, which I know is essentially a book from my teen years, which I never actually read and have always been slightly intrigued by. So for free, I thought I would give it a go. This follows a group of friends who essentially share the same pair of jeans for a summer and take it on adventures. And it's magic. It's like magic jeans because they fit all of them. So there's some rules about that you can't wash them and things like that, but essentially magic jeans go travelling with a group of friends over summer, which could be quite fun, and plan to read very soon because it fits a prompt in a readathon that I'm doing. But that's that one. That's the Sisterhood of Travelling Pants by Anne Brashares. I need to learn how to say that. When we went off to Disneyland Paris, for anyone that doesn't know that I've been to Disneyland Paris, I'll also link that video up, or that playlist up there for you. But when we went there, Pete's parents looked after Jeff, and when they came to collect or drop off, I can't remember which one, they had found a present that they hadn't given to me. So that was The Bride Test by Helen Wong. So very excited to read this one. It's not a sequel to the Kiss Quotient. I think it's like a companion novel, but there are interlinked characters. I think it's cousins or something in this one. But we're following Kai, I believe, in this one, and Esme. Don't know too much about it. Enjoyed the Kiss Quotient, so eager to give this one a go soon. So then on to the books I actually paid money for. So we'll start off with good old Sainsbury's, where I went in for the first book and then saw the second book and had to get that one as well. So the first book is probably no surprise to people if you've watched a lot of my book videos, is The Woman in the Middle by Millie Johnson. Millie Johnson is like my favourite author, even though her books probably aren't the best written things, but they're just such a comfort blanket to me. So whenever she brings out a new book, I buy it basically without knowing any of the plot of it. And that's the case with this one. I actually haven't really read the back either, so I have no idea what this one's about. But it's a Millie Johnson, so I'm sure I'll have a great time anyway. And Sainsbury's is always the best place, or probably supermarkets in general, but my local is the Sainsbury's, is the best place to buy Millie Johnson books. They don't ever seem to appear anywhere else, and they should, because she's brilliant. So obviously I went in for that one because I'd seen it on a previous trip when I wasn't buying books. I went straight back to go and get it and prayed to every god that it was going to be there. And in doing that I then came across The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary, who is also one of my favourite authors. I have loved both The Flatshare and The Switch and have been waiting for The Road Trip to come out in paperback for a very long time. I am now aware that she also has a new book coming out, but again I will be waiting for paperback, so it'll be some time until I can read that one. But The Road Trip follows a group of people. I believe Addie and her sister are on the way to a wedding when their car breaks down, and then the only way that they're going to get there is to car share with Addie's ex-boyfriend. So it's a forced proximity look at their relationship and stuff like that, which sounds a lot of fun. And again, like the Sisterhood of Travelling Pants, this is one that I'm reading for the Royal Readathon taking place in May. I then did an order on The Works, which I've bought a few books from The Works, but I've never actually ordered anything from them. And it appears that their deals are not quite as good as they used to be, because you used to get some really good books in there too for £5, and now they've cottoned on that lots of people are going there to get hyped books, and they've put their prices up a bit more. So I got 3 books for £3 and then a box set to show you. So the first book that I bought for £3 was The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This is the author of The Unhoneymooners, which I have read, and if I can find that book review I'll link it up here, which I enjoyed a lot. So I've wanted to try another one from this author, or authors should I say, because it's a duo. I believe one's called Christina and one's called Lauren, but I could be wrong there. So this one looks like it's a enemies to lovers, which is not always my favourite trope in a book, but it's about Jess, who is not having the greatest time in love. So she tries out a DNA matching site which matches her with someone that she doesn't like, and the CEO of the company that does the DNA matching. The matching side of it to me reminds me of The One, which is one of my favourite books. Now I'm not expecting it to be anything like that, but that did draw me to it, because part of the reason why I like The One so much is for that concept of your DNA tells you who you should be with. So looking forward to getting into this one when the time comes. The next book I bought from The Works is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling, and I had bought this specifically to read in October. So this follows Vivian, who is a witch, and she puts a curse or a hex on her ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and things like that. He then comes back into town some years later and lots of things go wrong, is what I gather from the blurb of this one. I think it's going to be a fun read and will get me into the Halloween spirit without spooking me out, because I don't like that kind of side of Halloween. But did want a holiday themed book for the year for October. So look out for that one in October, and that's The Ex-Hex. And the last one I bought for £3 in The Works was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This is slightly out of my comfort zone in terms of the styles of books that I read, if you've noticed a theme in the ones that I've bought recently, but I've heard good things about it and I think the synopsis sounds really interesting. So this follows Stella and Desiree, who are twins who leave or escape their southern black community, it says here, at 16, and then they lead very different lives, with one of them moonlighting as a white woman and things like that. So intrigued is the word I would go for this one, but as I said, I've just hit myself in the head with it. But as I say, it's not my typical genre and the typical kind of book that I read, but I do think it's always good to get out of your comfort zone sometimes. So that's The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. And the last thing, you've just seen a glimpse, I bought the Puffin Modern Classics collection. I've had my eye on this for some time in The Works, because the books in it are ones that I keep thinking I want to read. They're obviously children's books, but they're ones that have some sort of... Basically I've watched the films as a child but never read the books, so I'm intrigued. So there's 10 books in here. So we've got things like Stuart Little, The Velveteen Rabbit, Annie, The Borrowers, and then some that I've never heard of, like The Trumpet of the Swan. I have a video idea for this, which I'm not sure when I'll get around to filming. So again, if you're interested in my idea for this, then please go ahead and click that subscribe button. But I finally bit the bullet and bought the box set of the Puffin Modern Classics collection, which I'm looking forward to reading, and they'll be very easy because they're all kids books, so should be good. And from where I've spoken for quite a while, so I will quickly run through some of the ebooks that I have bought. So I have some Amazon vouchers from Christmas and birthday, and what seems to be the case is that when I see a book on the Kindle store for 99p, I buy that, and that's what slowly chips away at my gift cards. And in April there seem to be some quite good deals, but I need to get my phone to have a look at that one. Let's run through these quickly. I probably won't be able to give you a synopsis because I often buy Kindle books because I've heard of them and think they sound interested when I read the blurb on the website and then forget about it. So we have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, which I believe is a thriller. There's been a crime and there's a woman who doesn't speak, and it's all about that. And we have Kim Jo-young, born 1982, by Cho Nam-ju, which is a translated fiction, I believe, from Korean, following the life of Kim as she goes through. I believe there's some sort of mental health aspects to it and things like that. I remember hearing about it quite a long time ago and thinking it sounded really interesting, and then saw it, as I say, on the Kindle store for 99p and snapped it up without rereading it. I can't quite remember. We have The Beach Read by Emily Henry, which is an author I've seen around a lot, but I've never read anything, so I wanted to give her a go. And this is all about two authors who go away to some sort of retreat or on some sort of holiday, and they both have writer's block, and I assume a romance ensues from there. We have What Lies Between Us by John Mars. No idea what it's about, but I have loved 2 books by John Mars and just want to read everything he's written. We have Half the World Away by Mike Gale. I've heard good things about Mike Gale, and Half the World Away, I can't remember. I thought I knew what this book was about, but I can't remember. So they're the books I've got from the Kindle store as well, adding to the very long list of books I have on there. So they're all the books that I have bought recently, mainly in April, and I'm now putting myself back on said book buying ban so I can actually get through some of them. I've decided that I want to make sure that I've read all the gifts that I've got for Christmas and my birthday, which were the beginning of the year before the end of the year, so they're going to be my focus over the next few months. But I'm very much looking forward to reading these ones soon. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you fancy it and you want to see what I think of these books when they eventually appear in a book review, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!